Welcome back to the Memory Bench. Thank you for being here, for sharing another moment with us. Wishing you a peaceful, beautiful day. Now, let's begin the story. Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm 32 years old. The story I'm about to share is the most confusing, the most painful, and perhaps the most eye-opening chapter of my life. Tell me, what would you do if you began to suspect that the person you love has been lying to you? Would you stay up through the night, caught between faith and doubt, scrolling through your phone again and again, looking for answers you don't want to find? I did. And when the truth finally came, it was far more brutal than I ever imagined. 2 years ago, I took a trip to Portugal, all by myself. It was a long-awaited dream, a reward for surviving the toughest project I'd ever done at work. Back then, I was an assistant marketing manager, living a very ordinary life. Wake up at 7, arrive at the office by 9, work until late evening, rest on weekends or meet friends, a routine that blurred days into one another. That project, though it nearly broke me, 3 months of endless nights, missed weekends, and constant pressure. When it was finally over, my boss smiled and said, "Sarah, you need a break. Take a week off. Go somewhere far." So I finally did it. I booked that trip to Portugal I'd always dreamed about. At first, I planned to go with a friend, but she canceled last minute. It became my first solo journey abroad. I was nervous but excited too. When I landed in Lisbon, I dropped off my luggage at a small hostel and started walking through the old town. It was early September, sunlight warm, breeze cool, every narrow street lined with colorful tiled walls glowing in the afternoon light. After wandering for a while, I stumbled upon a small wine bar tucked inside a side alley. There was no sign, just an open door and the sound of a guitar flowing out. Drawn by the melody, I stepped inside. The place was tiny, maybe 5 tables, a little stage in the corner, and there, under the dim yellow light, was a man playing guitar. He was Korean. I could tell the moment I saw him. He was playing alone. His voice was deep, slightly husky, yet smooth like smoke curling through the air. When the song ended, I clapped. He looked up, met my eyes, and smiled. Gathering my courage, I asked, "Are you Korean?" He grinned. "Yeah, and you too, right? Small world. Sit with me, it's boring drinking alone." And just like that, we talked the whole night away. His name was Jin, 35 years old, a freelance photographer who'd been drifting across the world, chasing moments through his lens. "I've been here about 3 months," he said, "taking photos, guiding small tours, and sometimes playing guitar here at night." He was a free spirit. He lived without plans, without maps, without a next step, just the rhythm of the day, the pulse of the moment. And I was the opposite. I planned everything, every hour, every meal, every train route neatly listed and color-coded. But strangely, I was drawn to him. One night, as he lifted his wine glass, he said, "Sarah, your life feels too full." "Too full?" I asked. "Yeah, too controlled, too perfect. Try living without a plan, sometimes going to sleep without knowing what tomorrow brings. It's not that scary." His words touched something buried deep inside me. He was right. My life had no air, no space to breathe, every moment managed, every risk avoided. That was me. We talked until 3 in the morning. Jin told me about his past, how he once worked at a big IT company, a developer with a steady paycheck, until one day, burnout hollowed him out. "What did you do after you quit?" I asked. "Nothing," he said. "Played games, stayed home, didn't see anyone. Then one day I bought a camera just for fun. But the more I shot, the more alive I felt. So I decided to become a photographer." "Just like that?" "Yeah, why not? If something calls to you, answer." His words shocked me. I'd always been the kind of person who made lists before making moves, analyzing pros and cons, asking friends, weighing every outcome. But Jin was different. He simply did. "Weren't you scared?" I asked. "Of course," he said, "but you know what's scarier? Doing nothing and regretting it later." The next day, he showed me around Lisbon, not the tourist spots, but the real places. We bought fruit at the local market, ate lunch at a tiny restaurant hidden in an alley, and watched the sunset from a hilltop where no one else was around. It was one of the freest days of my life. No schedule, no rush, no expectations, just the moment, exactly as it was. I never knew freedom could feel like that. We spent the whole week together. He took me by train to Porto, then to a small seaside village where time felt slower. We held hands. We kissed. It was like something from a movie, a romance born out of a journey. But the problem was, all journeys end. My flight home was a week later, and Jin planned to stay in Portugal longer. On our last night, we went back to the wine bar where we first met. Jin played one more song, soft, gentle, like a farewell hidden in melody. When he finished, he took my hand and said, "Sarah, let's keep in touch. I'll come back to Korea soon, probably in a month." "Really?" "Yeah, you made me miss home." And in that moment, my heart dropped, but in the best way. When I came back to Korea, I couldn't forget him. I returned to my routine, morning alarms, crowded trains, fluorescent office lights, but my mind was still in Portugal. That one week felt like a dream I didn't want to wake from. Then, a week later, a message arrived. "Hey, I'm back in Korea. Want to grab coffee?" My heart skipped. He really came back. I said yes immediately. We met in a cozy cafe near Hongdae. He looked even better than I remembered, familiar, but sharper somehow. I missed you, he said. Me too. Then let's date. I laughed. Just like that? You know me. When I want something, I go for it. And without overthinking, I said yes. That's how it began, our love story. The first 6 months were beautiful, almost too beautiful. Jin was more romantic than any man I'd ever met. He would show up at my office with flowers for no reason, or drive me to the mountains on a whim, just to watch the sunrise. I loved that about him. He did the things I never could, the things I was too careful to try. But slowly, the cracks began to show. The first one was his home. He told me he ran a small cafe with a friend near Hongdae, and that he lived upstairs, above the shop. I'll show you later, he said once. It's messy right now, under renovation. I believed him. 1 month passed, then 2, and I still hadn't seen where he lived. The second was nights. After 10 p.m., Jin rarely picked up my calls. I work night shoots a lot, he said. My clients prefer evenings. That made sense at first. But even on weekends, he'd disappear. And no photographer works every single Saturday night. The third was social media. There wasn't a single trace of me on his Instagram. Not a hand, not a shadow, not a single caption. I don't post personal stuff, he'd said. Clients follow me. It's business. At first, I understood. But later, I wondered, when you really love someone, can you really hide them that well? And finally, friends. I never met a single one of his friends. I'll introduce you sometime, he'd always say. But sometime never came. Now, hearing this, it's obvious, right? No home, no late calls, no posts, no friends. It's a parade of red flags, but when you're in love, you don't see red. You see what you want to see. Then, one ordinary Thursday night, everything changed. With a single text message, it came from an unknown number. Why aren't you coming to the 20th partner meeting? Everyone's waiting. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then another message came. Am I the only one who remembers last night? My hands shook. What was this? A wrong number? Or not? Who was 20 partner? I called Jin immediately. No answer. Then, 10 minutes later, he called back. Hey, he said. Sorry, I was shooting. I got a weird text, I said. What's 20 partner? There was a pause too long. Then he said, that's spam. Happens all the time lately. Spam? Yeah, don't worry about it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I just stared at my phone screen. It felt too specific to be spam, and his voice had trembled. A few days later, something even stranger happened. I got a DM on Instagram from a woman named Jia. Her profile photo was beautiful, almost too perfect. Hi, are you Jin's girlfriend? My heart nearly stopped. Who is she? And how did she know about me? My hands trembled as I typed back. Yes, I am. Who is this? Her reply came almost instantly. I'm Jin's ex. I needed to tell you something. I don't know what Jin's told you, she said, but he has an FWB, a friend with benefits. The words hit me like cold water. FWB, a bed friend. It's the cafe owner, she continued. They dated since college. The house, the car, even the cafe, they're all under her name. Jin's just living off her. I couldn't breathe. The business partner he'd mentioned wasn't business at all. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because I was fooled too, she said. And I don't want you to be next. Then she added quietly. I was pregnant once. He told me to get rid of it. The message burned into my screen. My fingers went numb. Was it true? A lie? Why tell me now? That night, I called Jin to meet me at a park. He came smiling, like always. What's wrong? Miss me already? I handed him my phone. Read this. His face turned to stone. Do you know Jia? Yeah. Then what's this? It's old. Ancient history. Then why hide it? Because I didn't want you to misunderstand. Misunderstand? You live with a woman. I'm just staying there. For now. Why? I'm broke. So you lied to me? I'm sorry. I'm not stupid, Jin. It's true, say Ryan. Sujin's just a friend. His voice shook. And right then, something inside me shattered. Let's end this. The words left my mouth before I could stop them. Everything went silent. His face. His breath. Even my heartbeat. That night, for the first time, I understood. Love cannot stand on a lie. When trust collapses, what's left isn't love. It's just habit. 3 days later, Ga messaged again. Say Ryan, did you break up? How did you know? Jin called me. Yelled, actually. Asked why I told you everything. I sighed. Yeah. It's over. Thanks for telling me. Then she paused, and wrote. There's one more thing you should know. What is it? I'm married. The words burned through me. What do you mean? My husband works overseas. I run an online store here. We're practically separated. Then why Jin? I was lonely, she replied. Her message was short, cold. He made money. I stayed alone. I met other men. Jin was one of them. And right then, I understood. She wasn't a victim. She was someone planning revenge. My husband found out, she wrote. He's suing every man I was with, Jin included. In that moment, I realized. Ga never wanted to help me. She just didn't want to fall alone. A week later, Jin's cafe account exploded. He had an affair with a married woman. He's a rapist. The word rapist. I couldn't breathe when I read it. Jin, what is this? GA's gone crazy. Did you? No. Never. I reported it to the police. Days later, I saw it on the news. Married woman falsely accuses lover of assault. CCTV proves innocence. Her name was there. She had lied. The truth was caught on camera. Jin was cleared, but I couldn't go back. Love was gone. All that remained was exhaustion. And silence. Jin, this is really the end. I know. Thank you. That was the last thing he ever said to me. That night, I whispered to the window. Nothing stands on a lie. It was the truth, and the first sentence of my new life. It's been a year since then. I no longer live in the past. Sometimes, the memories drift back, but they don't hurt anymore. They feel like a season that's passed, a breeze that once touched my face, and quietly moved on. At work, I got promoted. Now, I lead a team of my own. Sometimes, when I'm buried in deadlines, I suddenly feel alive again. A new team, new goals, and a new version of myself. I haven't dated again. Maybe I'm scared, or maybe, deep down, I know my heart still needs time to hold me. Before I love someone else again, I want to learn myself first. Sometimes I hear about Jin. The cafe's doing well again, and he's seeing someone new. When I heard that, strangely enough, I felt peace. It was really over, and I was really okay. I haven't heard from GA again. She deleted her accounts, shut down her store, and disappeared. Wherever she is, I hope she finds forgiveness. For others, and for herself. I learned so much from all this. Love must stand on trust, but trust isn't blindness. It's a choice. It's not about closing your eyes, it's about watching carefully, and still choosing to stay. And more than anything, I learned that real love isn't about holding on to someone, it's about holding on to yourself, because love doesn't begin with them, it begins with you. If you're listening to this now, and you've been hurt too, it's okay. You'll be okay. The world might feel shattered now, but time is stronger than pain. Someday, you'll smile and say, that's the moment I became stronger. Thank you for listening till the end. This was just one chapter of my life, but maybe a small comfort for yours. Like we've been sitting here together, on the memory bench, watching yesterday fade softly into light. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe. Next time on the memory bench, I'll bring you another story, someone's memory, whispered just for you.